The 5 unity principles are ideas that make up the belief system of unity. The principles are believed to nurture spiritual growth, abundance, and a fulfilled heart. The principles are essentially: 1, there is one presence and power through the universe, and the universal spirit is good. 2, our essence is of the spirit, therefore we are inherently good. 3, we are co-creators with spirit, therefore we create our reality through thoughts held in our minds. 4, through prayer, affirmation, and meditation, we can align our hearts and minds with the divine spirit. And 5, through thoughts, words, and actions, we can live the truth we know. The last principle especially captures that if we can live our lives using these principles as tools, then we can align to the spirit and we can create a more fulfilling and spiritual understanding.
Off with an opening prayer. So close your eyes if that's comfortable and open your inner eyes. Take a deep centering breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Relax into the space that you are in, feeling the ground underneath you supporting you. Another deep breath in and out. Affirm that this is a safe space where you are accepted and loved and valued. And continue these affirmations. Just see yourself for where you are right now and ask yourself, what do I need to hear in this moment? And gently repeat that to yourself 3 times. Take another deep breath in and out, and recognize how this small act of kindness for yourself made you feel. And when you are ready, open your eyes.
Unity Principle 3 states that our thoughts have creative power. Not only can they determine events, they can also attract new experiences. This principle is inspired by the idea that what we think about is what we bring about.
Hello there, my name is Caroline Chikis, and today I will be talking with you about the 3rd Unity Principle. And this is adding to the Chapter X Unity Principle series. So essentially, the 3rd Unity Principle is all about manifestation through positive thought. And thought is something that is so frequently overlooked because it's very intrinsic to our nature, just like as individuals. And so that's why it's so important to make sure, to really be intentional about your thoughts. Because especially with myself, I can get stuck in negative rumination through thought, and you don't even realize the impact that it's having on your actions and your motivation to really reach out and do the things that you want to do. So that is where the 3rd Unity Principle can be applied to your daily life.
The third of the 5 principles: we are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. An easier version of that would be, you can choose how to react. I remember when I was told the 3rd principle, or at least a version of it when I was younger, it was something like, you can choose how to feel, or your thoughts create your reality. Being little, I didn't like this very much because I did not understand it at all. I was very confused. I didn't understand how could my thoughts change what's happening to me? Or how could I change how I feel about something? Since then, I've gotten not only older and more wise, but also I've gone through more changes, which I think definitely helps with that.
So this unity principle is especially applicable in aspects of your life that you see that you want to change, or goals that you've been looking forward to, things that just seem like right out of reach for you. And so the reality is these things are not out of your reach whatsoever. It's just the way that you think about it. And so using your positive self-talk and manifesting these things into reality, it can be done with just like changing a few phrases in your daily life that you think to yourself. So for example, for me, I would like to have better grades, okay? I would like to have better grades. I would maybe like to interact with people even more at school. So what I can tell myself, instead of like sitting in my chair in class and being like, sort of ruminating over, oh no, I'm not doing this well enough, and getting stuck in that cycle of, oh, how do I do this? Oh, I can't do it. You know, asking for help is an example of something that you can think in your mind, and it brings positive action to your problems to get you where you want to go. So thinking positively to yourself, oh, maybe someone else can help me, and imagining what you want to get out of everything that you're doing. So everything you're doing should have some sort of purpose to you, whether it brings you joy, whether it brings someone else joy, and therefore brings you joy because of it. So again, back to the schoolwork example. So I'll be sitting at my desk, and the best thing I can do in that moment is recognize that I need help to get to the point that I'm trying to achieve. So I can tell myself, I'm not quite where I want to be with my grades, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it actively. Versus you can show the contrast of, oh, so bad at this. I'm never going to be good at math. And while you can select the things in your life that have more value to you, for example, Unity has more value to me in my life than my AP calculus class, but it's still important to set goals for yourself so you have something that you know that you want to achieve in life. So that's just one example of how you can sort of use this positive self-talk to manifest and see a clearer course of action. And then another example I said was being more social in general at school. So already I have interactions with everyone in my classes, but let's say there's someone that is really nice that I've been wanting to talk to more or get to know better, or even someone you notice that maybe sits alone sometimes. So in the workplace, at school, at church, and what you can do instead of thinking to yourself, I'm like, not sure what they think of me if I go out of my way to talk to them. Will they think I'm weird? How are they perceiving me? Instead of having all of these like self-doubt thoughts, instead imagine yourself making a good connection with them. What does that look like in your head? And sort of that imagination in itself is a sense of manifestation, right? So I'll imagine making a new friend at school, and really all it takes is just being yourself, being a kind person, but you need to imagine that step first to sort of get past the self-doubt talk.
Creation meaning our divine ability to create and to manifest things in our lives, in accordance with Unity's third principle, the law of mind action. Remember, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. To start off, I wanted to just introduce you to the overall creation process that we normally use. So in the book that we're studying, Heart-Centered Metaphysics by Paul Hasselbeck, Paul Hasselbeck outlines this basic process of idea, thought, word. And when I think of the first step, idea, that's more the faith that you have behind your power. The idea is really just the belief that you can create, in my mind at least. And then you have the thought where you're forming this in your mind, whatever it is that you want to manifest. Maybe it's prosperity, maybe it's love, maybe it's confidence, that thought that you're going to try and hopefully succeed in manifesting. And then the word, which we talked about a lot in the last episode about affirmation and denial, is where you're actually claiming that thought supported by the divine idea and faith. And so between those three steps, idea, thought, word, we're able to create and manifest things in our life.
Secret kind of portrays it as, okay, you want a car, maybe your car broke down and you're desiring a new one that's more reliable, whatever it is, right? And manifestation is, okay, I'm really manifesting the physical thing of a new car. But for me, manifestation is I'm manifesting the feeling that comes with a new car. And what I mean by that is, okay, you want the tangible thing of a new car, but what is it that you really want, right? Do you want the security that comes with a new car? Do you want the prosperity or the abundance that comes with a new car? So when you do manifest these things, I actually find it's really helpful to start by feeling that I am abundant, I am prosperous, because that actually brings to fruition what's going to fill that need.
So I grew up hearing that the thoughts I think and the words I speak will manifest into my reality. It was just something I knew, but I didn't fully understand or utilize, and that I still forget to use sometimes. As I've grown older, and especially since coming to Unity, I've become more aware of how I've created everything around me. Mostly I've noticed the difficulties, but also some pretty cool things too. And I've realized and forgotten and remembered over and over that if I can create all the stuff that I don't like, I have the power to change it. Easier said than done in my experience. I have not known myself to be a very patient person, and often when I try to change my experiences and circumstances, I feel really good about it for maybe a day, then I fall right back into my old thought patterns of lack and unease. It's hard to change all the ways I think and feel, to recognize when I think something negative, like I don't have enough money, or I don't like how I look, or I have this sickness or that, and be able to change it. It's been a long process, and I know that I will be going through this process for the rest of my life. So I guess I can call it a journey now.
Just as the third unity principle states, that our thoughts create our reality. Remember, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Words have a similar effect. And Charles Fillmore actually said that words are the vehicles through which our ideas make themselves manifest. And in a way that is literally true, because the act of speaking is the act of bringing some thought or idea into auditory form, speaking it aloud, sharing it with the world. But also I think that the words that we speak bring certain energies to us, depending on what we're saying. And in a way, they may even be more powerful than our thoughts, because when you speak something, you are actively bringing it into the world, actively putting it into the universe to be heard. And I think it carries with it a specific importance that is a little bit different from thought. It's a declaration, so you're really claiming something in a different way than when you just think it. Now, Paul Hasselbeck has a really great quote that I think explains this distinction very well. So I'm going to share that with you. He says, "The spoken word is much more than just the audible sound of the word. It includes the consciousness of the person who speaks it. When words of truth are consciously spoken, truth consciousness energizes these words, and mighty things are accomplished."
Positive self-talk is so intrinsic to accomplishing everything that you want in your life and understanding why it is that you're doing the things you want to do in the first place. And so this self-affirming thoughts you'll notice a change in your general attitude towards everything once you tell yourself that this is something you can do. This is something you can achieve, and recognizing and illustrating the steps in your mind.
I invite you to close your outer eyes and open your inner eyes. As you begin to get comfortable where you are, take a deep breath in and release it. Now bring your attention to your breath so you can be fully present in the now. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. As thoughts arise, simply see them. Observe them without judgment, and then let them slowly fly away. On your next breath in, hold it, and bring your attention to your third eye, the eye of chakra. In the middle of your forehead, letting the breath go, expanding your awareness. Seeing there is no limit blocking your awareness. Breathe in. Again, letting out any limited perceptions. Breathe in and out, releasing any blocks that prevent you from seeing beyond. What is in front of you? Observe the things around you in their space. What is around you? What deeper things have you unlocked? Let yourself now float into your own galaxy, observing how it is unique to you. Without judgment, finally expand your awareness beyond this point to where you haven't let your mind go before. Reaching out to see all that is truly possible, that you has no limitations, no boundaries. This is a space that transcends time and space. As you become aware of your breath again, take a deep breath in and release it. Now, I invite you to come back to your body, breathing in and releasing it. Come back to your mind space that was left in this moment. And when you have fully come back to your body and to your time, I invite you to open your outer eyes and keep your inner eyes open.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, everyone.